Welcome to another video. Today I'm excited to introduce you to an expert advisor that's freely available on MQL5 and that I've been testing extensively over the past few months. After fine-tuning my settings and gaining confidence in its performance, I decided to run it on a small live account, and I'm pleased to report that it doubled its deposit in less than 4 weeks. That's a fantastic result, so I wanted to share my experience and insights with you. First, I'll walk you through my recent results. Then I'll explain how the software works, present some backtest data, and show you live trading footage. I'll also discuss why I believe this expert advisor stands out compared to other grid bots on the market. Finally, I'll invite you to join my Discord community, where we can exchange strategies and set files. Who knows, you might have even better ideas for using it. Let's dive in. As you've already seen, we managed to double our initial €600 deposit in under 4 weeks. The weekly return averaged close to 20%, and the monthly gain reached an impressive 109%. Let's break down the weekly performance. Week 1 delivered a solid 10% return, Week 2 surged with 31%, Week 3 contributed 14%, and the final week added another strong 22%. Over this period, I executed between 200 and 350 trades on average per week, with a peak drawdown of 3%. While these results are promising, it's important to remember that past performance doesn't guarantee future returns. Still, I'm excited to share the details behind these numbers and how the expert advisor works to achieve them. That would definitely be a smart move to withdraw the 600R and let the rest continue working, but I've decided to leave the full amount in the account and keep the strategy running as is. In the coming days, I'll be hosting some live streams on my channel where you can watch the expert advisor in action. I've also included a link to the live results in the video description, so you can now track my performance directly and see how things develop from here. While watching a backtest, you'll notice that they unfortunately run quite slowly, so bear with me as I explain what sets this grid expert apart from the others I've tested so far. But before I get into the details, let me share a few general thoughts on grid trading. Grid trading is widely considered high risk, and rightfully so. In my opinion, most new traders use this incredibly powerful tool, which is one of the best we have as retail traders, in the wrong way. The problem is that grids can deliver nice profits even if they're completely misconfigured, not smart at all, or if the user knows nothing about markets or trading in general. It's easy to set up, works well at first, but eventually fails, and I started my own trading journey exactly the same way. However, when used correctly and with the advanced features this software offers, which I'll go into detail about later, grid trading becomes extremely powerful. Most of what new traders are taught is, frankly, not very useful. In my view, no one can predict the future, so while we can improve our odds, we'll never find the perfect entry for a trade. Instead, we have to work with what we have: price movement. If there's one certainty in the market, it's that price will go up or down at some point, and we need to exploit that. A typical grid simply keeps adding bigger and bigger positions, regardless of market conditions, which can quickly crash an account during a strong trend. That's why it's so important to use grids wisely and with the right features I'll introduce now. First of all, this grid is able to hedge positions, meaning it can buy and sell at the same time. It can also be configured to use the profits from one direction to offset and close out losses from the other. This feature makes the grid much safer and helps to significantly reduce drawdown, which is a critical consideration for risk management in automated trading. Besides that, you can also use the grid in combination with a fixed stop loss. This approach allows you to use it as a night scalper, for example. Of course, you'll occasionally hit the stop loss, but the general trend of your account will still be positive. Your account remains protected because after every loss, you can check to see if something fundamental has changed, like if Trump announces World War III, or something equally dramatic, and decide whether to stop the expert advisor. Alternatively, if it's just a small bump in your equity curve, you can continue trading with the safety net of a stop loss, while still taking advantage of the benefits that a grid strategy offers. But enough about grids for now. Let's take a quick overview of the EA's inputs. There's a complete manual available online that explains everything in detail, so I'll just summarize the key points. First, there's a section that lets you add a panel directly to your chart. This panel gives you buttons to enter trades manually, and the EA will manage these trades for you automatically after that. You can also draw break-even lines for your current grid, and there are handy little profit labels that appear on the chart for each winning trade. The main section for generating trade signals is the moving average section. Here you can choose from 36 different types of moving averages and 22 price modes. These moving averages are used to generate entry signals, and you can customize how the signals work. For example, you can set them to follow a trend or use a crossover strategy. In the next section, you can set up a stochastic filter, ideal for higher time frames, though I skip it since I trade this EA exclusively on the 5-minute chart. You'll also define maximum spreads and slippage limits and cap the number of simultaneous buy-sell trades. Right after, you control whether the EA can hedge positions or close trades using opposite direction hedges. Next, configure alerts for when a grid's trade count exceeds your threshold, or auto-close trades if equity drops below a set percentage. Crucially, the EA prevents new trades if your margin becomes insufficient, a key safeguard. Finally, time filters let you restrict trading hours and days, skip Monday's open and halt before weekends to dodge swap costs where possible. This granular control aligns with my focus on risk-managed automation, turning grid trading from reckless to strategic. The next section lets you choose between auto-risking a percentage per trade or using a fixed base lot. The better option depends entirely on your strategy. Risk percentage works best with fixed stop losses, while a small base lot helps leveraging the grid's full potential. For recovery settings, you control the lot size multiplier for the grid or disable it entirely. Grid distance can be set as fixed pips or dynamically, handy when generating entry signals on lower timeframes, but wanting wider spacing from a higher timeframe. Personally, I use 5-minute charts for signals and 1-hour ATR for grid spacing. Next, decide whether to use a trailing stop loss or close positions after hitting a specific profit target. This target can even multiply by open positions to capitalize on accumulated lot sizes in larger grids. Finally, configure drawdown reduction and news filters. The %2 function here is particularly flexible. It accepts negative values for advanced risk scenarios. These layers of control transform grid trading from a blunt tool to a precision instrument, aligning with my focus on safety-first automation. Thank you for watching. I hope I've inspired you to try out this great little tool for yourself. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the like button to support the channel. If you'd like my set file, want to discuss settings, or need advice on trading pairs, join me on Discord. Keep an eye out for my live streams next week, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Next time, I think we'll dive into something a bit more coding related, or I share my first expert advisor with you.